All right, check it out. So tonight we are going to be checking both the compression and the spark on this 1985 GL 1200 Honda Goldwing. Last night I put a new coil in it, which it needed anyway, because the body of that was very cracked and likely it had corrosion inside. And now we're going to go through and start to test just these basic things on the bike. Right now the bike starts and runs really great, but the largest issue right now is that with the exhaust off right now, it's very easy to tell since it has the pipe for these two cylinders on this side and the other two on the other side, is that coming out of the exhaust on the left side here is much weaker and cooler and quieter than on the other side. So just as a couple early tests, we're going to check the spark and the compression. So the way we're going to test the spark is, I already got this one out and blown out. I'm going to end up probably taking the fairing off just to make more space, and also this piece on the other side. But we're going to be popping these out, putting the plug back in it, and then just cranking the bike over, holding the plug near, and I'll try to get that on video for you guys. And then I have my Harbor Freight compression tester. Because these are recessed so far in here, it's hard to use the hose to get a nice bite in there. So we're going to try our luck just jamming this in there and seeing what our compression readings are. $120 is pretty low. I want to say these bikes are supposed to be around $150. This bike sat for about 23 years, so it could be a case that the rings are a little stuck, or it's just old and worn out. I'll do a little research, but I might also shoot something in the cylinders here after I see what the other ones look like, and decide if I want to put some in there to help maybe loosen up the rings if I think that might be a potential cause. So we'll keep going forward and check out the other ones. Really good spark on this cylinder, like really good spark, and then we'll check the compression. Man, really consistent down there again, reading about 120 PSI here on the second cylinder, cylinder 2. Cylinder 2 is controlled by the passenger side ignition coil, which had really great spark. That's one that's original on the bike, not the one I just replaced. But I mean, the one up front and back cylinder, I think it's 4 on this side, it looked pretty good as well. £120 again. £120 again. And about 120 again, right on that. Okay, so moreover, the compression is very consistent through all the cylinders. My compression tester was reading 120 pounds on all 4 cylinders, right on the money, give or take about 2 psi over on a couple of them, and super consistent spark on all 4 cylinders, and that was the goal of the coil. I'm gonna have to do a little more research on acceptable pressure in the cylinders. I think 120 is a little bit low, but what this is telling me in terms of my running issue with the left side being a little bit weaker than the right, lack of a better term, this leads me to believe that it's not a compression related issue nor a spark related issue, and therefore that probably means we're going to be tearing into the carbs sometime sooner or later. All of the plugs looked super consistent. They had just like kind of a light dark color to them on the inside. None were super wet, with the exception of this one here was very, very, very clean and very, very, very white. So that may indicate to me that it is running a bit lean on this cylinder. So when I do tear the carbs apart, I will be keeping a close eye on this one to see if it looks particularly dirtier than any of the others. But as for now, compression is at least consistent, which is good news, and spark is consistent, which is also good news. So we have at least 2/3 of what should make a motorcycle run. In the meantime, I'm going to be leaving these fairing panels off because hopefully tomorrow night this bike will be getting a new timing belt, so I don't have to feel so darn scared about cranking this thing over and starting it, because like I said, this bike's been sitting for about 23 years and I am curious to see what that old belt looks like. whether this bike wants it or not, I am going to make it into a functioning motorcycle, even if it kills me. So looking forward to getting this sorted out and researching a little bit more about our compression. Again, I think it's really, really good news. At least it is consistent, and I already know that the bike runs and feels really, really strong on the passenger side. I've ridden the thing, although very briefly, and with a terror running terribly on this side, and it freaking still pulls really, really nice. So looking forward to it, making this into a bike. Still have lots of hope and excitement, and just trying to get this thing on the road before it gets too cold to ride it a couple more times this season, because it is in fact October already in central Illinois, and I don't want to be freezing my butt off when I get to take this thing on its first true trip. So thank you guys for watching, and we will be seeing you super soon with that timing belt video. Peace.